The film opens showing a blind man whose name is Cheng Xiazi, who was gambling with a group of people. Despite being blind, Cheng seemed to be quite good at gambling, as he had won a significant amount of money this time. However, knowing that Cheng was blind, the bookies tried to trick him and raise the stakes. Although Cheng immediately realized that he was being duped, he was unable to do anything about it and ended up losing almost all of his money. As bookie was about to take Cheng's money, a man named He Chufang arrived and immediately scolded the bookie. Chufang, who was the owner of the gambling place, then apologized to Cheng and asked him to return to gambling. However, Cheng refused and chose to leave. On his way out, Cheng was blocked by a group of people who were none other than Chufang and his men. Even though he could not see, Cheng was able to defeat them easily. After successfully defeating Chufang, Cheng then asked about a woman named Ninan, whose current whereabouts were unknown. The scene then switched to 1 month earlier. At that time, Cheng, a wanderer, was in the city where the residents had hired several strong warriors to catch criminals and maintain the city's security. Cheng, who was one of the mercenaries, got hired to catch the criminals and had received a sizable reward. Cheng, who wanted to rest, accidentally smelled a very fragrant aroma of wine and headed to the source of the scent, which turned out to be from a house that was going to have a banquet. There, Cheng met a beautiful woman named Nian, who immediately asked Cheng the purpose of his visit. He replied that he intended to buy the wine, but she said the wine was not for sale as it would be served to the guests attending the banquet. Nian also told him that the banquet was being held to celebrate her wedding day. Hearing this, Cheng decided to leave. Later, knowing that Cheng was blind, Nian felt sorry for him and gave him a few bottles of wine for free. As she was trying to tie the wine bottles to Cheng's horse, Nian was startled by a large sack that was wriggling as if someone were inside. Cheng told her that the sack contained a fugitive criminal and revealed that he was a warrior who caught criminals for money. The wedding party finally started. Guests began to arrive to attend the banquet. Nian and her husband looked very happy, and the guests also seemed to be rejoicing. However, the atmosphere suddenly became tense when a man named Nizu arrived. Nizu was Nian's older brother and a warrior. Instead of celebrating his sister's wedding with joy, Nizu acted annoyingly, causing the guests to feel uncomfortable and decide to leave. When everyone had left, Nizu walked over to Cheng, who was sitting alone drinking. He tried to intimidate Cheng, but his efforts were fruitless as Cheng completely ignored him. Cheng then walked over to where his horse was tied up and ended up sleeping there because he was too drunk. That night, Cheng woke up, walked towards the banquet, where he found Nizu and the groom dead. Cheng tried to find Nian and found her lying on the table, helpless. 4 hours earlier, Kui Feng and his men had suddenly barged into the banquet venue to find Nizu. Kui Feng's boss, a man named Yuan Jing, had ordered him and his men to kill Nizu and the bridegroom. After that, Yuan and his men took turns with Nian. Not long after, Cheng tried to treat Nian and promised to help her to take revenge on Yuan Ying and his men. The next day, Cheng brought the criminal he had arrested to Mr. Gao, a county official in charge of city security. With his extraordinary instincts, Cheng was able to thwart an assassination attempt on Mr. Gao by one of his own men. After receiving his reward money, Cheng told Mr. Gao about the murder that happened at Nian's house. Hearing this, Mr. Gao rushed to investigate and found an arrow that was hallmark of the Ying family. Mr. Gao told him that Yuan Ying was from a powerful noble family in the city. That is why Mr. Gao then asked Nian to forgive Yuan Ying and not seek revenge, but she would never be able to defeat Yuan Ying. Since Nian persisted in her revenge, Mr. Gao had no choice to arrest her on charges of defaming Yuan Ying's family. When Mr. Gao and his men took Nian to court, Cheng intercepted and asked Mr. Gao to release her, stating that she was completely innocent and was a victim. Because Mr. Gao insisted on sending Nian to prison, Cheng did not hesitate to fight against him and his men, even though they were government officials. After defeating Mr. Gao and his men, Cheng freed Nian and told her to hurry away. However, Nian pleaded with him to help her seek justice in the royal capital, and Cheng agreed. After a long journey, they finally arrived at the royal capital and decided to have lunch at a dinner while resting. After lunch, Nian told Cheng that she was going to report the incident to the security forces in the royal capital. Cheng then asked her to be careful because he had to go see someone and could not accompany her. Cheng was meeting a woman named Qin Yan, who was his partner and often gave him important information that made it easier for him to catch criminals. Cheng gave some of the money back to Qin because she had helped him a lot. Qin then told Cheng about a new mission to catch a high-profile fugitive who was once the most powerful criminal in the city. She said that the mission was very difficult, but the pay was also very high, and according to her, The fee was more than enough to treat Chang's eyes so he could see again. Not long after, a man came to Qin's residence carrying a wounded man who turned out to be one of the bodyguards in the Yuan family. The man said the Yuan was proposing to General Ko's daughter and that the IR engagement party was very lively. But then a woman barged into the party and injured Yuan. Hearing this, Chang was very sure the woman who injured Yuan was Nian. Because the man called Nian a crazy woman, Chang taught him a lesson not to talk carelessly. Knowing that Chang knew that woman who was dealing with the Yuan family, Qin then warned Chang to leave her and not to deal with the Yuan family because they were the most influential and powerful family in the city, especially since Yuan was now expanding his power by getting engaged to General Ko's daughter. Chang did not seem to heed Qin's warning and instead headed to Yuan's place to look for Nian. However, when he got there, Chang did not find Nian, who had been arrested by Yuan and thrown into prison. Turning to the present, Zhou Fang, who was already helpless in front of Chang, told him where they had been holding Nian. Chang rushed there and immediately saved her. He then took her to Qin's place and asked Qin to treat her. As a healer, Qin certainly could not stand by while watching Nian, who was seriously injured. Even though she had already knew the consequences she would face if she helped her, Qin still treated Nian. After that, Qin helped Chang to take Nian to a safe place, believing if she remained in the city, Yuan would eventually find her. In the meantime, Chang returned to a room where he was holding Zhou Fang captive. He tortured the man to get the information about why Yuan had killed Nizu. Zhou Fang then revealed that General Ko's daughter had requested the Night Pole pendant as an engagement gift if Yuan truly wanted to propose her. Because of this, Yuan was trying to find the pendant, which turned out to be a treasure belonging to the late Emperor Han. Yuan had ordered a group of tomb raiders to retrieve the Night Pearl pendant that was buried with the Emperor. Not wanting the looting to be known by the Empire, Yuan then killed the looters, including Nian's brother, Nizu. After getting this information, Chang tied Zhou Feng's neck with a rope that was attached to a door. Not long after, Yuan arrived there, and when he opened the door, the rope instantly tightened around Zhou Feng's neck, killing him. After one of his trusted subordinates died, Yuan rushed to investigate the mastermind behind all of this. He managed to find out that Qin was involved, so Yuan ordered his men to arrest her. Yuan then interrogated Qin about the identity of Chang, who had freed Nian and killed his men. Qin told Yuan that Chang used to be a formidable warrior on the battlefield. However, due to an illness, Chang had lost his sight, but he had not lost his fighting ability at all. Elsewhere, Chang went to General Ko's residence because he wanted to tell the general about Yuan. However, General Ko instead ordered his men to gang up on him. Chang was able to easily defeat General Ko's men and rushed upstairs to meet the general. However, he was again confronted by General Ko's bodyguards. Since his purpose for coming there was not to fight, Chang then said that he just wanted to warn General Ko about Yuan, his future son-in-law, who was a bad person. General Ko, who was in the room behind him, stated that Chang has no proof of his accusations. Chang then exposed Yuan's crime against Nian and her family and confirmed to General Ko that he would still kill Yuan even if General Ko did not believe his words. Sometimes later, General Ko's envoy came to Yuan and his family to inform him that the general had annulled his daughter's marriage to him. Hearing this, Yuan's older brother became furious and beat Yuan. Feeling disrespected by this treatment, Yuan drew his sword and did not hesitate to kill his brother. The next day, the residents were in uproar when they found Qin lying lifeless with an arrow stuck in her neck. Chang, knowing it was Yuan's doing, rushed to the Yuan's family's residence to avenge her death. There, he faced Yuan's men, who were quite formidable female warriors. Even though he was overwhelmed, Chang was finally able to defeat her. At the same time, Yuan shot his arrow at Chang, cornering him because he could not predict Yuan's location. However, Chang, furious that Yuan had killed Qin, refused to give up and rose again to face him. Chang finally found Yuan and easily defeated him. When Yuan tried to run away, Chang did not hesitate and stabbed him in the chest, killing him. Chang had finally managed to avenge Qin's death and also Nian against Yuan. Then returned to Nian and told her that he had killed Yuan and his men. Chang then gave some of the money to her so that she could start a new life and forget all the not so good things that had happened.